Hello everybody. Hi from sunny Ojai, California. I am enjoying this beautiful day outside, trying to stay in the shade because it's super hot. And right before we start our weekend, it's Friday afternoon today, so right before we head off to have a nice restful weekend, I hope, I wanted to tackle an interesting topic. One, I've been getting a lot of questions on my blog and a lot of emails asking me nutrition questions and keto questions. So I decided to start a series of live videos where we can answer those questions for you guys. So the first question for today came from a reader named Patti. And here is, I'm going to read you what she said. Hi Vivica, I'm changing my way of eating to get rid of grains and, it's windy, and work towards a ketogenic diet. I noticed on your website that you ask if the liver is healthy. It might not be a problem to eat this way. I have mild fatty liver and I'm wondering if you could share why this may be a problem. All I read indicates that getting rid of carbs would help fatty liver. Well, here there is a couple of issues going on. So first of all, I don't think she fully understood what I was trying to say, and which is that not that having fatty liver is a bad thing when you start to eat keto. On the contrary, it's definitely going to be a great benefit to eliminate those grains, and we'll get into the details in a second. But when your liver, the liver is what produces ketones, right? So the liver is the place where our dietary fat, I just lost my paper. Welcome to live video in the wind. So we produce ketones in the liver. So the liver has to be able to break down fatty acids and dietary fats and body fat into these metabolites called ketones that are very similar in structure to glucose, and they are utilized by the brain in the ketogenic diet as fuel. So I don't know if any of you know about ketones and why we produce ketones, but our brain is only able to use up to 75% ketones. So our brain runs on sugar, usually on glucose, and when we keto adapt, the brain starts slowly adapting to get away from burning just glucose for fuel to burning ketones, which are very similar to glucose, and they're actually designed by nature exactly for that reason, to fuel the brain. The rest of our body, except certain organs, can actually use fatty acids. So free fatty acids can be used by the muscles when you are keto adapted. Now, in order for our liver to produce ketones efficiently, it has to be functioning properly. So when the liver is burdened by excess, we just lost our connection, everybody. Hello. We're going to try from this different location here where I actually get internet. Sorry about that. I'm experimenting with new locations. So going back to our liver and the importance of having a healthy liver for producing ketones, we don't want the liver to be either toxic or just burdened with too much triglycerides, too much fat. So I want to get back into this fatty liver condition. So what is fatty liver? By definition, I'm going to read you the dictionary definition. Fatty liver is the collection of excessive amounts of triglycerides and other fat inside liver cells. And here it describes the condition of fatty liver as an accumulation of triglycerides that gets stored in the liver, and it gets, these pockets of fat basically that get trapped in the liver, and the liver is not able to eliminate them. It also says here that as cause and symptoms of fatty liver disease, we get mostly alcoholism, so as a number one cause, and then there is also not enough protein in the diet, obesity, and diabetes. So interestingly enough, these are all conditions that have to do with sugar. And their sugar and carbohydrates are involved in some way, shape, or form. What they don't mention, and here I have a printout from the dictionary, just the online dictionary. So in this printout, nowhere in here mentions carbohydrate consumption, and that's quite interesting because it lets us know how much misinformation there is out there on conditions like this and the real origins, the real root causes of such a condition as fatty liver disease. When does our body store triglycerides? That's really the key question here. And it's not when we ingest dietary fat. That's one of the biggest misconceptions, is that when we ingest dietary fat with our cholesterol, then, too much fat will be stored as fat. That is not correct. Fat can be stored as fat, yes, also, but it mostly happens when we ingest more carbohydrates that our tolerance or our energy consumption allows, and then we start storing those carbohydrates in the body as triglycerides, and the first place where they get stored is the liver. So the point that is missed in this whole conversation and causes is that we get fatty liver disease from overconsumption of sugar and carbohydrates. So the short answer would be that yes, absolutely, a ketogenic diet will immensely benefit your liver. There is one caveat here though, and that is that cleaning your liver is really important, and taking care of your liver is really important, especially as you switch your way of eating. We want to make sure we give the liver some attention. Of course, eliminating grains is the first step, actually, that we can do in making sure that your liver is healthy. The liver is really important, and I can just go on and bore you to death here. You're probably already all asleep out there with my, little physiological details about liver, but it is extremely important. The liver is extremely important because it is connected to most of our body functions, to the hormones, to insulin resistance, to ketone productions. There is so many different things. So my advice at this point, after this all very long premise, would be to start your ketogenic diet the right way. Yes, eliminate grains, eliminate carbohydrates, make sure that you eat a lot of healthy ketogenic foods. And that includes like liver health promoting foods like bitter greens. And yes, I do. I'm going to get to the questions in 1 second, you guys. So please start writing questions, and I'm going to get to every single one of them before the end of the video. But that includes, as far as liver health goes, it also includes avoiding highly processed foods. And a lot of keto diets out there are full of processed foods. And it just seems too easy. You can eat basically McDonald's and go keto if you just skip the bun. It's not like that. And that's why I do keto paleo, because it is a therapeutic ketogenic diet. So it supports the health of your body, not just your metabolism. And it doesn't just reset your insulin resistance or, maximize your fat burning ability, but it's also really supporting all different phases of your health. So this is kind of my advice. I'm sorry it was a little like, I went here and there and talked about a little bit of a lot of different things. Please post any questions if you listen to the video, to the broadcast, and you do have some questions. I will get to them right now. And I know Ilana is the first one that has a question. How do you do a liver cleanse? There are several different ways to do liver cleanses. I have a very specific way. I use products from Standard Process, which is a company that I use for my patients, the kind of supplements that I use. But it's basically a herbal mixture that encapsulates. And I do a cleansing diet, like a more restricted diet, which is kind of an AIP elimination diet at the same time. And I use other cleansing agents like infrared saunas, coffee enemas, and dry brushing, a lot of different things. The base of the detox is the supplement, but there are options in supplementations when you do a liver detox. You want to just be careful that you do it the right way, possibly under supervision, because you can get really bad symptoms. If you're very toxic and you've never cleansed before, it can hit you really hard, and then you're going to be out of commission for a while. I try to avoid that for my patients and the people that I work with, and so I try to ease them gradually into their detox and do it gentle but strong, powerful detox, but gentle at the same time, so they're not incapacitated. And what about detox tea? Detox teas are great as a little daily maintenance thing. They're definitely not strong enough to deal with the load of toxins that we assume every day and we carry with us from, all our lives. So I drink the yogi tea almost every day. By the way, I kind of switch back and forth with another tea, but I love that tea. But those are great herbs, and like milk thistle, it's a great liver supporter, but it's often been misunderstood as a detoxifier. Milk thistle is not as much as a detoxifier as it is a protector of the liver. So there is other herbs that can be used for detoxing, and what they do is just stimulate detoxing pathways. Look at my Italian hand here. They're stimulating all the detoxing pathways, which are many and different. So we want to stimulate the intestinal, detoxing pathways, so bowel movements. We want to do the lymphatic ones, so urinary tract, kidneys, with the one through the skins. The organs of the detoxifications are many, and when you do a detox, you want to be able to support every single one of them, and not just the liver. But the liver is just like the central hub of detoxing, because the liver changes the toxins from being fat soluble to water soluble, so they're able to be eliminated. So if we don't support that pathway, then no detox really happens. By the way, that's a whole other topic that I think we should do in a future video. If you guys have no more questions, I think that we got a long enough broadcast for today. I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will probably be back next Friday. Please, if you want me to answer any questions, post on my page, The Nourished Caveman. And Christina, I'm going to get right back to you. So post your questions, and I will make sure that I'll pick them up in some broadcast. If I feel like they're too small, I'll just answer them directly. So you're going to get your answer. And you're very welcome, Ilana. And I cannot post the standard process supplements because those ones specifically are prescription. That means they're only sold to practitioners. The other thing, Christine, I wouldn't necessarily recommend, being a practitioner with lots of patients, I feel like I have a lot of responsibility. So I don't recommend doing a detox, like a thorough one, by yourself. At least a little bit of supervision, and even if you do a lot of research, you never know English goes goodbye, what might happen. Like, for example, if you have gallbladder stones, they might start to flush out and get stuck. I don't want to alarm you, but there is a number of things. So I always recommend doing a detox under supervision. In the meantime, you can definitely keep drinking detox teas and support the pathways. It's going to help. It's not going to be the end solution, but that's definitely going to help. Okay, you guys, thank you so very much for watching, and hopefully see you soon next Friday for another live broadcast.